Oh no, the sun. I don't know. Good morning. If you, sorry guys. If you're new to joining us on these videos, just the first few minutes of the video, we'll just be doing a few sound checks, making sure that you can see everything. So if you're watching on catch up, then feel free to skip this little bit here. I'm just gonna double check now. The sun's come out. Can anybody comment to say that they can see me enough when I'm on the mat? It was okay, but now I'm doubting myself. So just give me a yay or nay. I can always do a quick switch around if necessary. Thumbs up from someone, maybe that means yes, I'm not sure. Yeah, yes, great. Oh, thank you, Denise. Obviously quite happy to have the sun in today with a little bit of brightness to join us for the practice. I'll just wait a few more minutes in case anybody else is going to join in the live class. I hope you're feeling good. Also to let you know that obviously if you're watching this on catch up, then you obviously it's not going to work for you, but have a yin yoga class tomorrow night, Sunday the 5th, is it, at 7 o'clock. So I know some of you like a yin class. I thought we'd do an evening one for a change, just to prepare you for sleep, which always quite nice evening practice. And we haven't scheduled the rest yet. We seem to be just sort of going with the flow of how we're feeling and what we fancy doing. You've got a sore stomach from Graham's class. Yeah, with the plank class, was that the plank one? I didn't actually get to practice that. I saw a few snippets online, but I didn't actually get to join in at the time. Okay, so we've got a good few people so far. Yeah, the plank class. Okay. So I'm going to start off in any seated position this morning. So whatever works for you, get yourself comfortable. You can certainly sit on something if you have any yoga equipment, or you can make do. You can sit on a book, you can sit on a blanket. Feel free to improvise. We're not necessarily using props, but you certainly can use something if it feels good in your body. I'm just going to come back over to the screen while you settle in, just in case I've missed anything. No, that's fine. Okay, so cross-legged might work. Rest the hands, relax the shoulders down, relax your arms, and feel that there's a certain effort to sit upright here. So it could be quite tricky for people to sit cross-legged and for people to sit tall, especially from the lower back area. So do your best to do that. Let's keep the shoulders back to keep the chest open, and then extend the neck so that the top of the skull reaches upwards. So settle in as you maybe close your eyes. Allow yourself to become still for a few moments. The breath in and out of the nose. That's a great starting point. And we can evolve the breath a little bit more as we move into a stronger, more physical practice as well. So in and out through the nose. See how that feels in the first instance. Feel you can slow the breath down. Take your time to breathe. Let's challenge the breath a little bit more by making a deeper breath. So pulling the air in and pulling it down to the lower part of the lungs. Basically, as you do that, you're encouraging the diaphragm to press down, which turn causes the abdomen to gently inflate. So as you breathe in, the abdomen inflates. And of course, as you breathe out, the abdomen deflates. See if you can find some movement down towards the belly. Feeling the rise of the in-breath. Feeling the fall of the out-breath. So it's a little bit bigger breathing pattern than your natural breathing. A little bit of effort involved in doing that. Almost becomes more like a breath training technique. I wouldn't say it's pranayama as such, but it is a technique to feel like you're in charge. You're the one deciding how the body feels with the control of your breath. So slow breaths, big breaths can help us to move to a more relaxed state, physically and mentally, of course, as well. Okay. So let's gently open the eyes. And then we're going to change position. I had these toe separators on, I forgot to take off. I'm going to take them off now. Okay. We're going to move on to the knees. So see how this feels for your, well, one, your knees. You can use a bit of padding under your knees. And two, see how it feels for your toes. Because we're going to tuck the toes underneath, or potentially tuck them underneath. Now, I don't want you to force your feet to do this if it feels really, really uncomfortable and unable to maintain this. So you could try toes tucked. You can have the toes untucked if you find that's not possible to do this. Really just waking up the feet this morning a little bit more before we come and stand up. So do what feels good for you. Toes tucked or untucked, but sit the hips towards the heels so you can sit upright. So decide you might want to untuck them once you get yourself more upright, because it's pretty intense in the feet to stretch the feet in this way. So the knees are still down on the floor. Let's interlace the fingers and then press the palms outwards and breathe in first and then breathing out round the spine. So you're trying to press the back of the chest away from the head and the hands. And then inhale. Now let's lift the chest. And as you do this, lift the hands and arms. So arch the back. Reach the hands back to where you feel comfortable. Lift the chin. And then breathing out round. So the first position, press into the back of the chest, tuck the chin slightly. Push the palms away. Inhale. Arch the back. Lift the chin. Exhale as you round. Inhale as you lift. And then exhale, let's release not only, of course, your arms and hands, but your feet as well. Take your time. So if you come onto a tabletop, your hands come into a tabletop position and gently untuck the toes. Press the tops of the feet to the floor and just allow the feet to recover for a moment. We're going to stay on our hands and knees. Make sure you have enough space at the front of your mat to maybe even scoot back a little bit. Keep your hips over your knees with the reach of the hands moving way past your shoulders. So extend your arms. Without moving your hips, you're extending out through your chest and spine, arms, shoulders, allowing the chest to move slightly closer to the floor. One of the things to bear in mind here is the press of the hands. So if you can keep pressing the hands down, you can keep your arms straight, keep the forearms lifted. So there's a certain effort with the hands and arms. So if you can move some of that effort up to your shoulders to widen the space between the shoulder blades. Or feel like you're warming the shoulders, even if nothing actually moves. It's a muscular activation or warming. Let's take another 3 breaths. And then exhale, release. As you release, bringing yourself back up, and the wrists now can come much more comfortably underneath your shoulders. Okay. Move your hands forward this time. So your hands are going to stay and move up to the top of your mat. And keep your wrists under your shoulders. But then tuck the right toes. And see if you can stretch now, not just the foot and the toes, but actually into the calf slightly. So extend the right leg with the shoulders over your wrists, push into the hands, and then try and lengthen the right heel away. Just stretch into the calf for a few breaths, so keeping the leg actively straight. Be aware of your hands as well. So we're going to work with the arms a little bit for a moment here as well. Press into the hands. Keep the shoulders over your wrists. And then tuck the left toes. And all we're going to do is lift the left knee. So it's kind of like almost a half plank, but not quite. A little bit more challenging than that. Pull the belly button to the spine. And then release the left knee down and bend your right knee. Okay, so back to tabletop. We're going to do the second side. So extend the left leg out, tuck the left toes, stretch into the left leg. So the first part here is to extend the left leg out, lengthen the left heel, backwards or away. Make the left leg firm. And then prepare, because we're going to press to the hands and the left foot. We're going to tuck the right toes and hover the right knee. And feel the core muscles begin to engage. Of course, your arms and your shoulders getting a bit warmer. Steady breaths. And then releasing right knee down, left knee down. Okay, from here, let's keep the wrists under the shoulders. Tuck both toes with the knees bent, and then breathing in. Hover the knees, both knees at the same time. So you're like tabletop, but not quite touching the floor with the knees. Pull the belly button in. Check for any arching of the back. Try and keep the back of the pelvis lengthening away. Pull the front ribs into your chest. Hopefully getting nice and warm in the arms. And notice your breath, of course. So slowing it down, making it long. Still using your nose if you can. And then we're going to release to downward dog. And so pressing the chest back, moving the weight from your wrists. You might need to adjust slightly with the spacing of your feet. And of course, you can keep the knees bent. Just extend the pelvis up and back. Steady breaths. Okay, inhale as you bring the shoulders over your wrists. And then exhale to hover the knees. Inhale, extend the legs. Exhale back to downward dog, but the legs can bend in downward dog. Let's do that again. So inhale, shoulders over wrists, plank first. Exhale as you hover the knees just off the mat. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale and press to downward dog. One more time. Coming up, inhale, plank first. Exhale, hover the knees. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. 2 more breaths. And then slowly lowering to bring the knees back down to the floor. Now let's move to child pose. So this time toes untucked. Big toes might even touch each other and move the hips towards the heels. Now extend the arms as we did in puppy pose, but this time turn the palms towards the sky. So as you do that, press the baby fingers into the mat. As you rotate the palms upwards, the inner elbows move upwards, and see if you can get that movement up to your shoulders as well. So widening. So you'll need to keep pressing into your hands to do this. Widening across the upper chest. Okay, slowly release. Bring yourself up. So I'd like you to stay facing the direction you're in. I'm just going to turn around so I can show you the side that we're going to work on. But we're basically going to come to a tabletop position again. And we're going to bring the right foot to the space between the hands. So if it's useful, you can literally grab the foot, drag it forward so that you can take a nice long lunge, allowing your hips to drop fairly close to the floor. You can pad up the back knee, always take whatever you need for your own comfort and safety around especially your knees here. The back toes can be tucked or untucked, depending on how you feel this in your feet as well. So begin to rise, staying low in the hips, but the chest coming upright. And then reach up with the arms. So let's extend out through the arms. You can go wider with your hands, but try to keep the shoulders wide and down from the ears. Stay low in the hips. Press into that front foot and the back knee. And now we're just going to move the right arm. Reach the right arm behind, possibly to the back thigh. So the right hand to the left leg, or that direction. If you can't take the hand to the leg itself, no problem. This is almost making you twist the opposite way to the posture. So what you want to try and do is keep facing forward, roll your right shoulder back, and then reach up even higher through your left arm. Steady breaths. Exhale as you bring the hands down, either side of the foot. Bring the right knee back. Okay, let's go second side. Left foot between the hands. I'm going to turn around, but you stay as you are. Left foot forward. Low with the pelvis. Back toes tucked or untucked. Find your balance. Coming upright with the upper body. Reaching up with the arms. Stand up through the arms, wide shoulders. Left arm reaching back this time towards the back right leg. Doesn't have to be the leg if that's too far around for you to reach. Once you've got the hand back, reach up through your right arm, the one that's overhead. Steady breaths. And then exhale, release. As you bring the hands down. Let's take downward dog. So take your time. Transition to tuck the toes. Hover the knees, but then send the hips back and high. Let's bring the shoulders over the wrists. And then lowering to the mat. So if it's useful, bring your knees down first. Control the descent to the floor. Inhale into cobra. Stay low for the first few rounds as we lengthen the chest forward, shoulders from the ears. And then breathing out to lower and tuck the toes, press back to downward dog in your own time. So a little bit trickier option coming up, but you can choose whether or not it's right for your practice. You're going to lift the right foot and extend the right leg up high, as high as you feel comfortable to go to. Try and get the leg straight, even if it's lower down. Try and spread the toes on the right foot. Energize right to the very, very tips of your toes. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to bring the right foot between the hands. Now, if you need, bring your knee down first so you can bring the foot forward. But otherwise, see if you can now find your balance with the feet hip width apart. Stay low in the hips, the right knee bent. Lift your chest. Reach up with your arms. Keep the chest open. Arms active, the shoulders wide. Let's take the right arm behind. So we did this in the kneeling version. See if you can reach your right arm down the back leg. Keep turning your left hip forward. Let's inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale as you lower the hands and step back to downward dog. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale as you lower, half or full plank down. You can hover or come all the way to the floor. Inhale as you come up to cobra. Exhale as you press back to downward dog. Once more. Inhale, left leg, extend. Make the leg as straight as you can. Spread the toes. Fire up right down to the feet. Or right up to the foot. Inhale, look forward. Step the left foot between the hands. Or adjust the posture. If you need to bring the knee down first, find your balance. Slowly rise with the hips low, but the left knee bent. Inhale, reach up with the arms. It's a big posture when we're balancing at the same time. So there's a real intense stretch for me, maybe the same for you in your back leg. Concentrating on balance, so making the arms firm will help as well. Let's take the left hand round towards that right leg, towards the back leg. It's a big reach around as well. Inhale up through the right arm. Steady yourself. Steady breaths. Inhale, reach up through the arms. Exhale as you bring the hands down and step back to downward dog. Steady out the breath. Let's bring the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale. Exhale. You might like to hover. Some of you have a chaturanga practice. You can do. Some of you might like to move up to upward dog. A little bit of a bigger back bend, a little bit more intense on the wrists. Notice how my thighs and knees are lifting from the floor. Exhale, tuck the toes and travel back to downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. This time, spin the back heel down so the back toes face the long edge of your mat as you rise to warrior two. Sink low into your right knee. Your right heel, front heel, is in line with the arch of the back foot. So you can either take your left hand to the left hip, or if you're able to, you can reach your left hand around towards your right hip or thigh. Okay. Stay low in your right knee. Inhale up, extend through the right side. So don't lift up with the hips. Stay low as you extend the right side, the waist and chest. Now let's straighten the right leg. Reach the arms wide. Inhale over the right leg for triangle pose. So the right leg is straight, a little tiny bend on the knee if you find it hurts the back of your leg. So don't go into this with pain in the knee. So you can always add a little bend here if you need to. Reach over the right leg, down to the side if you haven't already. Your right hand maybe on the leg. Some of you might have the opportunity to get a bit low with the hand, not essential. Let's take the left hand either to the hip, or again, you can wrap your left hand to the right thigh or to the direction of the right thigh. So the aim here is to keep rolling the chest open towards the sky. Not only the top left side, but the underside, the right side of your ribs towards the sky. Make the legs firm. If you feel in control, this is a tricky maneuver coming up. You might want to reach your right arm forward, possibly horizontal. Keep the legs firm and control with your breath. Inhale, reach the arms wide, coming all the way up. Face forward over your right leg and lower the hands down, step back to downward dog. Slow down your breath. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, lower as you wish. Inhale, rise up as you wish. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot forward. So spin the back heel, turn to the long edge of your mat. Warrior two on the second side, front heel in line with the center of the arch of the back foot. Low into the left knee. Let's take the right hand either to the hip, or you can reach your right hand to the left thigh. Stay low in the knee, in the left hip joint, and inhale, reach up through the left side by reaching your left arm up and back. Inhale, straighten the left leg, reach arms wide. Exhale. Inhale, left side triangle. Exhale to a side position. Again, so you don't have to go down to the floor with your left hand. Certainly, it might be a lot easier to reach the hand to the leg. Okay. Let's take the right hand behind, either hip, or behind to the thigh. If you can reach all the way around, go for it. Roll the chest, underside ribs to the sky. So it really forces you to stay open, but also challenges your shoulder at the same time. Press into the feet, stabilize. Make the legs firm. If you want to, reaching your left arm forward, horizontal. Inhale, reaching all the way back up to stand. Reach the arms wide. Turn forward over the left leg. Exhale as you lower the hands down. And take downward dog. Take downward dog to even out between these asymmetric postures, and they're big postures. So lots of asymmetry, if you like, between not only the legs, not only the arms, but the shoulders, the chest, the spine. Everything active. Slowing down your breath. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Step the left foot forward. So you've got a shorter stance. You want to have your left toes facing forward as far as you can anyhow, and bring your left hip forward. So squeeze the inner thighs together. This is a straight leg posture if you can, but don't force the right leg to be straight if it feels too much of a stretch in the back of the leg. Let's inhale, lift the chest, look forward. Keep the left thigh hip coming forward as you fold over the right leg. Folding over more or less depending on how this feels in the body. Inhale, come up halfway, so the chest up. Look forward, find your balance, so press into the feet. Interlace the fingers behind so that the knuckles face outwards. Squeeze the shoulders together and then extend the arms. So you're looking forward. Extend the arms, maybe lift the hands a little bit higher than away from your hips. Bend into your right knee and then begin to balance on your right foot. So make sure you still look forward and the chest is forward rather than down. Again, wake up through the left toes, spread the toes, make the whole of the left leg and the foot active, the arms active. And then step wide and back with the left foot behind. Release the hands and arms as you lower down. Now we'll take a vinyasa, so we'll go to plank position this time. Breathe in at the top, breathe out as you descend. Down. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you press back. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Bring the right foot in slightly so that you can have a shorter stance. Right toes forward, right hip forward. And again, the legs are straight or straighter in this posture. Right hip forward, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale as you move or fold towards your left leg. Might not be down there, but you're moving in that direction. It's not the final destination. It's just the sensation of stretch on the way there. Press down into the feet. Scissor the inner thighs together. Create tension in the legs. So the legs are firm. We're preparing for the balance on the second side. So you need to stabilize the legs. Inhale, lift the chest. And then if you've got the balance here, we're ready to release the hands. Bring them behind you again. Knuckles outwards as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift the hands. Keep the chest lifted. Look forward, gaze forward, bend into the left knee in your own time. Begin to travel to warrior three. Right foot lifting, right toes spreading. Make the right leg active and firm. Steady breaths. And then step wide and back with the right foot behind. Lower the hands. Step back, high plank. And lower. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you press back to downward dog. You might hear it, the shortness of breath tends to make the breath want to move fast. So see how you can slow things down. Let's lower the knees to the floor. Again, I'm just going to turn around, but you can stay exactly as you are. You've got the hands and knees down. Then step the right foot forward into a low lunge position again. We're going to keep the back knee down. So again, you can pad up the knee if it's useful. But you want to have balance between the front foot, the back knee, rise up with the chest. In fact, just tweak that slightly. Bring your right foot slightly further back so you've got a more upright position. We're going to take a twist here, actually. So inhale, reach up through the left arm. Exhale as you hook your left elbow or forearm across your right knee. So hook across. Press into the left arm. Turn the chest towards the right side. Try and turn the underside ribs to the right side. You might want to press the hands together, or you might want to take your right hand and wrap around the back as if you could reach to your left front hip. Okay, so this is just the right arm position is just helping you turn a little bit deeper. Press into your left hand, left elbow, left arm, turning the chest round. Now this, to be fair, is a little bit fancy, but see what you think. You could even just try and see what happens. This left hand can reach round to hold the right hand. Okay, it might not happen, might not look like that. But reaching round, turning the chest. Turning the chest. Steady breaths. Exhale, release. Bring both hands down. Let's take a downward dog. And again, even out the breath. So big movements, big postures, but also squeezing of the abdomen when we're twisting and we're rotating it's really great for our nervous system, actually, but it's quite challenging for the body to adapt to that. So slowing down your breath. From here, let's lower the knees down. Let's step the left foot forward between the hands. Comfortable through the back knee. Rise up, maybe shorten the stance slightly so you feel stable through the foundation. We're going to go to the second side. I'm doing it the other way this time so you can see the hands, hopefully if I can get them to connect. Reach out through your right arm, breathe in. And then breathe out to hook the right elbow or forearm across. Obviously, if you've got the forearm across rather than the elbow, you're not going to connect the hands underneath, no problem. Do what feels good today. Press into your right arm. And then you can bring the left hand to the hip, or you can press the left hand down to the right hand. If you've got the scope and you want to try this, you're reaching your left hand, towards your right thigh. Turn the underside ribs to the sky. Underside ribs to the sky. If you're lucky enough, you can connect the two hands underneath the back of your left leg. Make sure you've got the correct side arms and the correct side of the body, otherwise it's very confusing. You've got your right arm across your left leg and your left arm has gone up and up across the back of the body, round the back. Steady breaths. Exhale, release as you lower the hands down. Step back to downward dog. Steady out the breath. So the last posture was a deep, deep twist. You really need to get warm before you do a twist like that, which is why we did those big postures in preparation. Let's bring the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale at the top. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you come up. Check out the spine. Exhale back to downward dog. Let's lower the knees down. Lay down on the front, all the way onto the abdomen, chin or forehead down, and now interlace the fingers behind the back. Press down through the top front side of the feet, so the toenail side of the foot. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and breathe in. Lift the chest, maybe lift the hands and arms from the back body, pressing down through the feet. Active arms, active legs. Exhale, release, and lower down. Rest the head. You can use the head, forearms or hands under the head. Maybe turn the head to the side. Okay, slightly stronger variation coming up if you want to. You can stay with the first option, which might be enough. Interlace the fingers again. You're going to make the legs active and firm, the toes active, but without pressing down. So in theory, you can float the feet without making them firm still without having to press into the earth. So let's start with the chest first. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the hands and arms, maybe float the feet. So you're lifting the legs, but without bending the legs. Lift as high as you can with both the hands and the feet. Steady breaths. One more breath in through the nose. Exhale slowly, breathing out to release the hands and feet. Lower the head, lower the shoulders, relax the lower back. Okay, so from here we'll flip over onto our backs. Bring the feet to the floor. Bring the heels fairly close in towards your hips, as close as you can get them. So the shins are about vertical. Feet hip width and knees hip width. If your hair's tied up, move it out of the way so your neck is in line with the rest of your spine. Reach the hands down. Press into the feet, breathe in, lifting the hips as high as you feel comfortable to move to. Interlace the fingers as before, and then again try to get the arms straight so you're pressing the baby finger edge of your hands into the mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, roll the shoulder heads towards each other underneath the chest, which might give you the scope to get a little bit higher. So we're going to keep pressing in to your shoulders, your hands. Now, if you feel balanced pretty good here, press into your left foot and see if you can draw your right knee in towards your chest. At the same time, of course, lifting with the hips. Maybe you can straighten the right leg. Wake up the toes, spread the right toes, steady breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale, keep the hips up, slowly lower to bring the right foot down, and then releasing your hands and arms as you lower the pelvis back to the floor. Let's take a breather at the bottom. And then let's set that up again. So another one of these bridge postures. So pressing through the feet, lift the hips a little bit, interlace the fingers behind, do your best to extend the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, get the chest higher, hips higher. Press into the baby finger side of your hands, into the floor, press them down into the floor. We're going to stand on the right foot only, of course, draw the left knee in, so you can keep the left knee into your chest, or you can lift the left foot higher. Spread the toes. Drive into the right foot. Keep the right leg active as well. Steady breaths, nearly there. Big postures today. Inhale at the top. Exhale as you lower the left foot down to the floor first. And then release your hands and arms. Well done. Lower the pelvis down to the mat. Let's take a moment to relax. Breath settle. Let's draw the knees into the chest, both together, both at the same time. Let's bring the right hand to the left thigh. Bring the legs, both legs over to the right side for a twist. Left arm reaching to the left and turning the head to the left side. Use your right hand as almost like a little bit of an anchor on your left leg. Your left hip pushing away from your face. So try to create space around the waist on both sides, as if you could turn both sides of your lower chest, your underside, right side ribs towards the sky. It's not exactly like that, but it's that direction, rotating the chest round. Notice the breath as you twist. Slow it down, stay in control. Exhale, release, come back to center. So legs in, left hand to the outer right thigh or knee, legs over to the left side. Right arm reaching out, turn the head to the right as well. And again, use your left hand and arm to anchor the legs slightly as you lengthen your right hip away from your face. Feel like you can gently ease the lower rib cage towards the sky. The legs are fairly passive though, actually. The legs can relax now, the effort so far. Hopefully feeling the breath slowing down as you do that. Let's slowly release to center. Keep the feet lifted, but turn the soles of the feet towards each other. Knees go wide as you do that. So soles of the feet together or almost together. And see if you can either hold the feet, you can hold the outside of the foot, or if you can't reach that low, you can hold the shin or even the knee. But the knees are wide, feet close together. Shoulders, if you can, stay on the mat. Head resting on the mat as well. And let the heels drop towards the pelvis. So if your heels are not close to your pelvis, it's harder to reach, right? But just do what you can. Connect the hands in some way so the legs themselves can become passive and the hands do most of the work here. So the grip of the hands just supports the feet. Close the eyes, steady the breath out. And then beginning to release the hands, bring the legs together. Lift the head and shoulders, squeeze the knees to the nose to the knees. Hold the posture but breathe. Lengthen into the back of the neck. And then gently rock side to side a few times into the lower back area, pelvis. And then gently beginning to release the head and shoulders as you take the feet down to the mat. Extend out for Savasana or for relaxation. Have the feet wider than your hips and the hands wider than your shoulders, quite a lot wider than your shoulders actually. Settle into the back of the head, relax the neck. You can take a blanket now if your space needs, if you need a bit more warmth in your space. Rest your arms and shoulders, resting into the neck and head. And then the legs resting as well. So we're passive, we're allowing a passivity to move through the body. So check and notice if there's any residual tension. It usually takes a few moments at least, maybe longer, to get the body prepared to relax. And usually as we scan through to check, where you might notice that actually, oh, I'm holding tension at the shoulders, didn't realize it, and the face, another place actually where we hold tension very easily without realizing it, because we tend to do it all day, every day. So check the face, check the head, check the neck, notice your shoulders, check your arms, notice right down your arms to your hands and fingers. Let the palms feel soft, so the fingers, when they're relaxed, they tend to naturally curl up. The thumbs curl. It's a passive sort of reflex of the underside muscles of the fingers. Relaxing. Back of the chest, back of the rib cage. Lower back is gently extended but not flat to the floor. A little bit of a space for most people. Check how it feels. Back of the pelvis, buttocks, hip joints, and relaxing down the thighs, around your knees. Relax the lower legs, relax the ankles. Relax the soles of the feet. Relax the toes. The whole of the back body gently easing into the mat, into the earth, allowing the body to let go, allowing the body to release. Allowing the breath to release. Allowing the breath to move back to your everyday breathing pattern, your everyday breathing length and speed. Allowing the body to breathe in the way it knows best. And taking some much needed rest. Mental rest, probably more so than physical rest. Notice what that means. If there's a tangible experience, maybe you can point, or maybe you can put your finger on what that is and how that feels for you. Maybe it's a felt experience somewhere in the body in particular, or maybe somewhere at an emotional level that feels like a release, or the space of releasing. Maybe it's the practice of given yourself an hour for your day, in your day, for yourself. Maybe it's, of course, it could be all of these things. Notice what you can learn from your feelings or your experience. begin to move attention back to the body. See if you can stay still for a little bit longer. But notice, we scan through, notice your feet and legs, notice your pelvis, your chest, notice your hands and arms, shoulders, and the head. And again, re-notice where all those places connect with the earth, where you feel the body's heavy in contact with the mat. And then allow the breath to expand from the front side of the body, the sides of the body, feeling the breath begin to wake you up, or feeling the breath move you back to the surface of your. Let's begin to wake up from moving fingers and toes really gently to let the life move back into the body. In your own time, maybe bend your knees, maybe bend your arms. You might even want to bring your knees all the way into your chest as you wrap your arms or hands around your legs. Give yourself a big hug and squeeze. Stretch out the lower back. Rock or roll around on the back of the pelvis. And then we'll begin to roll over to one side, whichever side works for you in your space, and begin to gently bring yourself up to any sitting position, however you like, wherever we've been already, or anything different that you need. Take a few moments to wake up fully, be present in the rest of your day. Thank you so much for your practice this morning. Have a great day. Can't wait to see you again soon. Namaste. Thanks, guys. See you soon.